Welcome to Split the Defense.
Split the Defense.
All right. Welcome back. Split the Defense podcast. Not hockey podcast anymore.
Yeah.
We talk about too many things. So Split the Defense. And if only Alejandro Kirk's bat didn't break, maybe he would have split the defense on the last play of the game. But we got lots to cry about, lots to talk about, and a really weird future with the Leafs that we can start talking about. So I don't even really know where to start. I'm Webby. I got Craig Pearce, producer Ted, and I wanted to start the show by doing what Tom Segura does on Two Bears, One Cave, where he goes Bert's not here, Bert died, or Bert lost an eye, or he's got diabetic problems, or that's what I wanted to say about Miller. I just thought it would be better that way. Maybe I will next time.
Something about a house fell on him or something? Something like a house fell on him, I think.
Yeah, a house fell on Miller. So that's why he's not here. Our best wishes to Miller. Yeah, his shoes are fine because he's just so big. So the house just only hit the top half of him. The whole house fell he floor down. Anyways. So we had a big heartbreaker of a game from the Jays, boys. I don't even know where to start. I can start, I guess. The first question I wanted to ask: do you consider the game more lost because of Alejandro Kirk and his bat breaking in the last play of the game? Isaiah Kiner-Falefa not getting as much of a lead, which he's explained now why he didn't. It was not his choice really, and or was it Ernie Clement not trying to just poke one and trying to swing for the fences and getting caught out? He's only a foot away. He was really close. What do you think was the moment where you felt it was gone? Did you believe right to the Kirk bat breaking? We had three batters, three bases loaded, right? All of them were on at one point, one out. I really don't know. You look back and there was just so many moments where it was if only that. If only that, if only that. But it comes down to so many of those little things. Do you think one sticks out more than any other, CP? I'm not sure.
Not really. It just feels like they could have won it 1,000 times and they didn't, and they, it, to me, the worst part is the pitching side of it is that you had three pitchers in a row give up a home run. And that to me was just the kind of the worst part. The hitting part is I don't know, hitting's kind of difficult to judge for me because especially on one moment where you have to come into with the clutch because most of the time you fail as a batter. So to just put it all on one at bat just seems, ridiculous. To me, I don't know. It's definitely retrospect by now, and hindsight's 2020. But I just we were trusting Jeff Hoffman in a spot where I'm not sure that we should have been trusting him in.
I don't know, man.
He had a great postseason every other time he went out there, but it never got away from me, that gut feeling that I got when he went out there, just from all of the postseason or the regular season home runs he gave up. He not to get on the guy, but he was the worst closer in the major leagues. It is what it is. That's what the numbers say. And but he had an amazing postseason, so I can see why they went with him. But I don't know. None of it to me is one single thing. I think it's kind of a lesson that the bullpen is, comes down to it one of the most important parts of a team, and maybe just tweak it a little bit, and you need that number one ace guy that you can just always go to. And even though Jeff Hoffman at his best just isn't that, he's never going to be a guy that you put out there and the game's over. And it's, I don't know but no, I don't put it on IKF. I don't put it on Ernie. That's for sure. Ernie, I'll die for that guy, just like everyone else in the city. And yeah, not on Kirk, broken bat, whatever. In the end, it was an amazing season. It was an amazing postseason. I had so much fun.
The best.
it was the best season of watching the Blue Jays I've ever had in my life. And no longer is my like favorite Blue Jays team like a team that had like Greg Zahn and Roy Halladay on it and Vernon Wells. Like that's like the childhood teams I got to watch growing up. It was really sad and not great ball. And to see where we're at right now and to watch them in a World Series, I don't know. That's a special thing. So I'm trying to be positive.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, that was me trying to be positive all through Game 7. Like you said, it was like down to the last minute for me that I still had like real hope, just be like sheer hope, like not like knowing anything or not like thinking about like, okay, well, this could I was just like, they're going to fucking do it. They're still going to do it. They have to do it. But I'll say there was a lot of doubt that started creeping in. Even when we lost Game 6 on Friday and on Halloween, I was like, there was something going through me being like, if Toronto in a Game 7, like I know it's not the Toronto we know, like the Leaf, but Toronto in a Game 7, I was starting to freak out a little, man. I was like, I don't know, this might not go our fucking way.
Yeah, it usually doesn't.
But I honestly didn't have that thought. I went into it just like they've been the better team. I believed in them. I really did.
I did too. I did too, but those things added up for me. I mean, like I can't remember which order it was, but after there was another couple of events that happened, but it was after one of the first home runs was given up when they were it was when they tied it up. When they tied it up.
Yeah, when you Savage, Bieber.
My brain started going and I went, oh no. Because, you know, even in like all the sports that I've watched and all the teams that I've been on and the championships I have won, you've gotten there because of luck. That had to go right. Everything went right. And these little things that just start adding up that aren't going your way, it was like, fuck. I hope they pull this off. Now they have. They're the band of like misfits that are, you know, not supposed to be doing this. They weren't even on the World Series radar at the beginning of the year, and they've come out and just shown us. So like, who the hell are we to even project what's going to happen? Anything could happen. But at that same time, I remember it was Kiner Falefa sliding in. Then there was the homers given up and it was tied. And I went, you know what? Somewhere in there, it was, I think Kiner Falefa was after, right? And that was in the 11th inning or 10th inning.
Yeah.
And so it was when Kiner Falefa slid in after those 2 home runs, I thought to myself, oh, you needed those little things to go right. You know, like
I think this team always did, you know, like it's one thing, the Dodgers, they're full of all-stars but you can see that no matter how much you pay for a team, like things have to go your way, you know, and it almost slipped away from the Dodgers, and the Jays just don't have as much wiggle room. I think like they had to be a team and they had to kind of have some things go their way. And they were kind of all season, you know, like, and it's just, sometimes you get lightning in a bottle, and, you know, and that's what we had. I'm not saying that it can't exist next year, but, you know, it's definitely one of those things where I think we got the best of a lot of players, and that's what you get when you come down the World Series. And especially when you get to the 10th and 11th inning of the World Series, it just, any little thing can be the difference. And, you know, it was many things that were the difference in Game 7. It's like the amount of times that, you know, we could have scored way more. The game could have been 12-2 going into the 9th. That's the thing, is the amount of runners we could have driven in. It could have been so out of reach that you could have put Brendan Little out there and you would have felt confident. But it's just, it's not the 9th inning. It's also the 3rd inning and the 4th inning. It's just, that's, man, it was so
the
close.
Production team too. Like after the 5th inning, they were playing like a Tragically Hip song, like we had already fucking won. It was like showing all these moments. And I was like, can we not yet? Can we not do this yet? Like, please. Like you're starting to like.
It's hard not to, though,
because we were all hyped. Bo hit that home run. Like I was walking around pacing, like, you know, I was having a good time.
Yeah.
Like,
I lost my voice multiple times during this playoff run. And I was actually in game 6. I thought that it was Bo's turn to like make something happen. I was out at a bar and I called my shot and it didn't pan out for me. But then the next game, like it just felt like, okay, we've had a Vladdy moment, we've had a George Springer moment, you know, we've had a Kirk moment, you know, it's just, and Barger moments even. Yeah. We were still waiting on that big Bo moment, and we had it and it's just now it's kind of forgotten, he still did it, came up with a huge home run in a big spot. And that's like one of the main reasons I think they're going to really try hard to bring him back. But it just doesn't count the same. You don't remember it the same now. And so that part kind of sucks. But
well, I don't think you can let the loss take all those moments away. I think it just stings right now. 5 years from now, we're going to look back and those are going to be still really cherished. Like, remember when Donaldson slid in from third? Still remember that. We didn't win shit that year. That was exciting.
Yeah,
we all remember the bat flip. Like, I don't think we're ever going to forget the Springer dinger. I don't think we're ever going to forget Vladdy and Ernie Clement playing like absolute lunatics. Like, I don't think we're going to forget this postseason run from this team. It's like one of the best postseason runs that I've experienced in my life.
Yeah, I'm definitely like the Springer home run.
Not just the Jays.
Definitely the moment for me that like I'm going to remember the most, like that's all I meant. It's just that Bo's moment kind of slips to the side because we had so many big moments and you can only remember so many. And this George Springer one to me,
it wasn't game 7.
What, George's?
No, I mean Bo's was still. It wasn't game 7. So
and I think that
was a big
in
moment.
His own for himself and like for signing a contract and like it matters for him. It matters for like it counts. It's just like for my memory bank, for this playoff run. Ernie Clement, I'm never gonna forget for the rest of my life. That's for damn sure. The George Springer home run is for me that's etched in stone. Him coming around the first base exactly like Joe Carter, like that is never leaving my head. But but it's just I don't know, man. It does suck that they lost. It just would have been so much sweeter, and so all those memories would not come with like this asterisk of like, oh yeah. Remember how shitty I felt at the end.
Yeah, I saw my neighbor and we always talk about the stuff, like any like Leaf stuff or Jay stuff. And when I'm out in the driveway, he pulls up, he goes, I don't want to talk about it. I said, yeah, I don't want to talk about it either. He went inside.
Yeah. There's a lot of that on that Monday morning of just how many, like I work as an electrician. I pass by a million dudes, like guys. And the amount of like no eye contact, just like looking away into the distance it was a scene I haven't seen in a long time. Different than like when the Leafs lose, because not everybody's a Leafs fan, like and a lot of people, there's a lot of making fun of you or whatever, and they're not making it to the Stanley Cup final, that's for sure. So yeah, it was so different because just like everybody had the exact same feeling, it's just gut feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, really, just shut it down right away. How many games into the season are we? You're like, they're not fucking making it. Like, for sure.
They've only actually had one regular season game, right?
So they've only had one regular season game. It's really early.
Everything before this didn't even count.
Yeah. While they're playing for during
they're
the Blue
1-0.
Yeah.
Fucking right.
None of that shit counted.
Honestly, they didn't have the focus, and not the team, but I heard Cliff Fletcher interviewed on the Amazon Prime broadcast, and he was saying it was nice in 93, 92, and 93 when the city's focus was kind of off the Leafs and on the Jays, because it gave them a little sense of like, like the media, the pressure's not on us as much. And he's like, we played well through those. And I was like, well, fuck, what happened this time? Like, maybe I don't know, maybe they need that. Like, I don't know, because as soon as the pressure came back, they were like, oh shit, we're down in the third period. Let's fucking.
So if nobody cares about them, they play like shit. If everybody cares too much, they play like shit. So what do we got to do, Ted?
Okay, so here I have a question. If we're gonna segue Jays Leafs, okay. So this Jays team going to the World Series, heartbreaking loss, right? Like I think for me, I learned that it's probably the most heartbreaking. But we always said for the Leafs, like if you made it to the Stanley Cup Finals, it wouldn't hurt as bad as losing in the first round every year. So what hurts worse, lads? Does it hurt more to lose in the first round for year after year to the same teams, or does it hurt more to lose in Game 7 extra innings of the World Series?
Yeah, I got to say it hurts more to lose in the end. I mean, the Avs have only won when they get to the finals, so I don't know that. But feeling that Jays loss and feeling like, I've seen the Avs lose in the first and second rounds, and it just kind of sucks. It's just like, fuck. And it sucks when that happens, but the hurt, like the cut is deeper when you're like right there.
Yeah, like I would definitely prefer to lose in the end, in the finals. Like that is my preference. Every time
Fair.
I'll take losing in the World Series or in the Stanley Cup Finals over first round any day. It does hurt more once you lose, but I'm less mad. And I loved this team. Like it's something where you start to love the players on the field and you want it for them. Like that's kind of like I felt more disappointed for the guys who maybe are on their last chance here with the Blue Jays, and like Max Scherzer, he has one, but Gosman and Bassett, and there's a lot of players. Yeah, he's got 4, I think. Max Scherzer,
or 2 or 3, I think they've been there 4 times.
Oh yeah, right? Been there 4. Yeah, got there twice. Yeah, but like, yeah, I just felt for the players more. Like when the Leafs lose in the first round, you get like this sense of being mad at them. And that to me just sucks, like I'd rather like the team that is on the field or on the ice. And even if it hurts more, like obviously I would take that because I just like it's never been so clear that this Leafs team is just off, and like, I don't know if are we going to the Leafs? I still want to talk about like free agency.
Well, I got one more
Yeah.
question. Has there ever been another Leafs team? Like we love the Leafs, right? We're Leafs first, Leafs centric. Like I enjoy hockey as my number one viewing sport. Baseball is secondary for me. I do love baseball. I play baseball more than I play hockey, but it's my second viewing pleasure. In that said, have you ever loved a Leafs team the way that you love that Blue Jays team this year? And do you think you will? Or is that just the most special group that we've ever seen? Do you think we'll see something like that again next year?
I think it's possible. I think I definitely love this Blue Jays team more than I've ever loved any Leafs team. And I would say I love multiple Blue Jays teams more than I love this Leafs team. It didn't take going to the World Series.
This Leafs team or any
Leafs
team?
This Leafs team. They're a hard bunch to love versus the Jays overperforming is easy to love. Like it's all about like what are your expectations, I think. And I think that the Leafs have definitely under-delivered. The Blue Jays over-delivered in a sense that like there's so many misfits and cast-offs on that team. The Leafs are supposed to have these star players that are supposed to be able to carry you, and they don't, and that's frustrating, but it's also just the attitudes they have while they do it just doesn't make you love them. They're not like a people's team, and I feel like that can change. And I don't think it's like up and down the lineup that's the case. I'm more talking about our captain. And I think that like, yeah, the possibility is there. I think there's guys on the team that are like ride and die kind of guys like Jake McCabe and Anthony Stolars. And I'm running out of names here, guys. Help me.
Yeah, my brain isn't even working like that yet. I'm like, who are they? Simon Benoit?
Yeah, like Benoit. I mean, I've not loved his play much so far this year, but I don't know. They're not that type of a group, and I don't hate this team. I just don't love them, and it's kind of, it is what it is.
I didn't mean this team. I meant, have you ever loved the Leafs team the way that you love this Blue Jays team?
No.
I don't think you ever will.
That's so fair. I find when I'm like believing in the Avs, I'm like, this is a really good team. They have a chance to go, and they lose in the first round. I find myself getting more mad at the league. I'm like, this league is fucking bullshit. Like, what an entertainment bullshit sport. It's written. Someone's writing this. They have to be. Yeah, like I start to go crazy when that happens. Like, I think I get more mad at myself. I'm like, what am I devolving into here? Like, what kind of sports fan am I?
Yeah, we don't have the pleasure of that because we know it's the players, and so I don't know. There is the possibility that the league writes it in however is worse for the Leafs every year, but no, I don't know. It kind of sucks as a fan to just not like your team, but that can change. Winning changes everything. It's like we go on a hot month, and I'm gonna be right back on board, and and I'll have my favorites. I'm dying to love the third line of this team. I'm just killing to like the Waugh Joshua pairing. They're not making it easy, but like I want to love them. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see where the season takes us.
Quote that.
Yeah.
It's kind of sucks when you hate your favorite team.
Yeah.
I think I paraphrased it, but that was yep.
Yeah.
I feel that in my
That was the
soul,
sentiment
brother.
for sure.
I feel that in my soul. So you want to talk about Jay's free agency before we flip over Leafs? Because I wanted to say like 17 things, but I don't want to get off too far off topic. Do you want to talk free agency? What do you think of free agency? Like we got to re-sign Bo, right? Like, and like, what do you think Bo's worth? I think 25. I would think he'd be worth maybe 27 if the Yankees want to pay him more. I don't know if he's worth 30. What do you think?
I think that all the estimations came out today, and so Bo from Baseball America, which is pretty trusted, and it's 30 million. It's going to be the cost. So
I was 20. I saw one that's 23 and a half the other day.
I think Baseball America's today was 30. It's probably going to be somewhere in the middle, probably. And I think he's worth it, and you should do it. And I think they're going to keep him
at second base, right?
Yes, at second base.
He was a dope second baseman.
Man, he plays second base better than I thought he would. Like, I mean, he has the moves, and I don't know. It's an easier position by far, but it's a unique way to field a ball, and you got to be really good on playing on your back foot. And he seemed to have it, and I thought he was great at second. He could turn into the best second baseman in the league. Versus being the worst of, like, it's hard to put him in the best of shortstops because he's the best hitter probably, but he's never going to be the best fielder as a shortstop. And we got a really good fielder as a shortstop in Jimenez. So, and
even with his great bat, DeBo's defensive woes are like, that put him down probably like 15th best shortstop in the league, like 13th best.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you got guys who just play the position better that hit decent. Right? I mean, like, it's hard to rank how much you value what, but like Bo's hitting definitely doesn't make up for all the defensive problems that he's had at short. And I think if he's got second going for him, that's great. He looked really good there in the playoffs, and maybe that's just like what's that, recency bias? Yeah. We watched it. It looked good. That's where he's going to play. We don't even know if he wants to play there. He just told Schneids he wants to get in just because he wants to play in the series, right?
I think he played that good with a bum knee. And so, like, I don't know. I don't think we've ever seen him play that good at shortstop. And to know that he was only at, like, I don't know, was his mobility at like what, 80% maximum? Like probably more like 60% mobility. And, and to look that good, I thought was great, and so, yeah. The next guy the one that I'm keeping my eye on the most right now is Shane Bieber, because almost everybody who has opt-out clauses has opted out already, and he has one and he hasn't. And so, like, he's either dragging his feet, he's thinking about opting in, or he's negotiating with the Blue Jays to do an opt-out and sign.
I think that's what he's doing.
Right. And so I'm really stoked about that. I still don't think we saw the best of Shane Bieber. I hope we haven't. But even if we have, like, he's a serviceable third pitcher. And if you have the flashes that are possible from Shane Bieber as your third, that's a good spot to be in. So I think they should definitely keep him around. And then you can figure it out. Like, we have a lot of guys that can, pick up the fourth and fifth spot. Bassett might come back. You never know. I'm not sure Scherzer's coming back, but we'll see.
That would be, I would love to have both of those guys back.
Yeah,
I think they were integral to the run. Both of them. Like, Scherzer winning that one game, it felt like Scherzer won that game for us, and he didn't swing a bat once. He did not score a single run, and it felt like he won the game for the Blue Jays. Like, I loved having him in the postseason. He is just exactly what I think a team needs. Bassett, he also went out and threw scoreless, right? Right, he was scoreless, I believe.
I think he gave up he gave up at the end one run, I think, didn't he? Yeah. But up until the last game, he'd only had one base runner.
Yeah, and he pitched like 16 or 20 innings, something like that. It was stupid.
I would like to see him transition to a bullpen. Like, I don't know. Well, it all just depends on what your needs are, but he's a guy who's willing to do absolutely anything for the team. And so, like, and he's the vibes guy, and there's this all of the wives have this kind of group in the Blue Jays crew, and the pitcher wives are the leaders of the group. And so the more of them you can keep around, I think.
How do you know this?
Oh man, I'm deep in the culture of the Blue Jays. I'll tell you. Between how many podcasts I listen to, I listen to podcasts of guys that go out with them, and my fiance follows a bunch of the wives on TikTok and Twitter and everything, so I get both sides of it. And yeah, I think that pitching wives group is important for the vibes of the whole team.
Yeah,
That's my hot take.
The pitchers' wives for us
Yeah.
going to the World Series. Yeah, the Blue Jays making their first appearance since '93 in the World Series, all because of the pitchers' wives who also didn't swing a single bat.
Yeah.
Any other free agents you think from the Blue Jays, or do you want to look outside right now? Because I've got somebody I really want to talk about who I'd love to have on the Jays.
I think there's some guys I would like to bring in if Bo is not coming back, but if Bo's coming back, I think it's more of fringe guys. And
we got Clement again. We got Barger again. We've still got Kirk. We've still got Vladdy.
I think you can bring in one guy.
Santander.
Yeah, like I'm not 100% counting. He's gonna play games. Whether he can find his form again, I don't know. We'll see. But I think because Barger is so good in the outfield and the infield, he's still young and can develop at either spot. Like you can go after the best player, the best fielder, the best hitter, and you can kind of work your guys that you have around them. The only questions are like the Santander and George Springer thing is going to be interesting. If George he's been good enough this year that automatically he has that DH spot. So like you kind of have to force Santander into the outfield. He really should be a DH Santander. So I don't know. We'll see where that all ends up. But who's the guy that you have your eye on?
I really, really want the Jays to go for a run at Kyle Tucker.
Man, you're looking at the number one guy.
I know, the guy. I know, but fuck, they went for Shohei. Why can't they go for him? Like, I mean, they clearly wanted it. Like, and why wouldn't they load up? I mean, maybe not Tucker, but there's probably other options out there. I would really like that. But there's also Cody Bellinger is a free agent.
That would be also the thing with like they were offering all that money to Soto and to Ohtani before they gave Vladdy all the money. Vladdy got all that. Like, I don't think they were going to sign Vladdy if they signed Soto. So I'm not sure, especially if you're going to give like $240 million to Bo. Then I'm not sure they're going to fork out 300 or 350 or more for Kyle Tucker. If you don't bring Bo in, everything's on the table here. But going over someone like Cody Bellinger, who's like, I don't know, he's going to make like $20 million a year. He probably wants like 4 or 5 years. That's more palatable, I think, and gives you a little bit of pop in your outfield. A guy who can kind of play around. Bregman, I would be like my 1B choice too. Ooh. He's just, and then Barger has to play the outfield, but I mean, wouldn't Clement
play? You can't put Clement on the bench. Clement's got to play like way more games next year. He went fucking off in October. You got to see what that kid can do if you put him in every day.
I think he's almost an everyday guy, but as a utility, he's the best utility guy in the league. And I think he just
bounces to every position where somebody sits.
Yeah. So I think he can just be whatever. I think he's locked in as like the utility guy for the Jays, no question. Yeah.
So I guess that makes sense. And then you have Bregman on third, right?
Yeah,
that's what you're thinking.
Yeah,
and so I've got the list of free agents here. So the only people that we haven't talked about from the Jays are Connor Falefa, Dominguez, and France. Now, Sir Anthony Dominguez is an interesting one. Now that guy threw a couple of meatballs. I didn't really trust him, but when he was on, he threw really well. What are your feelings on bringing him back? You think they'll even make a run at it? You think he's just going to go? It looks like he only made $3.6 million this year. That's like nothing.
Oh, that's kind of crazy, actually. He is like a tweener between like really high leverage and just like a innings filler guy. Like no one ever trusts him 100%, but yeah, I would bring him back. I have a feeling that he doesn't come back. He just seems like kind of a journeyman like hired gun in the league to me, and I'm not like I think he'll just go back to the States and go play somewhere. I don't know. He's a guy. I'm not sure how involved in the culture he was. What his wife was doing, I don't know those things. So I don't know. We'll see. He's an I don't really care about. He can be replaced. I would think regardless of if he stays or goes, like you still have to go out and get better relief pitching. And he can be part of it. He's just like, he's not like the highest of leverage guy.
Fair.
IKF in France, I think they can go. I don't want to see them anymore.
Oh, Gold Glove winner Ty France.
Get out of here. I was sick when I saw that.
So who was the biggest snub on the Blue Jays for a Gold Glove this year?
I think it's Kirk. I think Kirk, the one thing he lacks is the arm, but he has a really quick to throw. And I don't think people really like appreciate that much. They just look at how fast he's throwing the ball and how many people he's gunned out. And he had a great year. He just gets it off really quickly. So yeah, I think he's really underappreciated throughout the league. Best framer in the league is,
I was just gonna say, is it Gold Glove or Gold Arm? Because I was thinking Gold Glove. He's got a great glove. He's the best framer in the league.
They care way too much about that arm, and it is best at the position. But yeah, best glove in the league, hands down. Yeah, I think Ernie Clement would be the next, most snubbed. He should have got utility of the year for sure.
Yeah, totally. All right. I don't have a segue, so the Leafs kind of
we segued so good, like before we needed to, like we had a full segue before it was a good one. So yeah. Enter segue.
Enter segue. Yeah. Okay, here we are already talking about the Leafs. We're already talking about the Leafs. So how about the Leafs? How everything always relates to the Leafs, right? This is how it affects the Leafs. So they just played their first regular season game yesterday, as far as we're concerned, because everything before that was preseason. It was Jay's time, and they're 0-1. They're 1-0. Sorry, but that being said, there's definitely some things that maybe we saw in Ghost video or something that didn't ever happen that are troubling and concerning. And I just want to know, do you think this team's going to be okay? They're like 7-5-1 right now, I believe. It's not bad, but it's not good.
I mean, I think they're going to be fine. They've never been a really great team in October. I'm not sure. Like, you always see these memes about like, the Blue Jays and the Leafs are the same team in October. I saw a lot of that. I'm like, what are you talking about? The Leafs have always sucked in October. It's like November, and like they're amazing in January.
Yeah, they're really good in November. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, but yeah, they always start slow. I always thought Mitch Marner was a big part of that because he also always started slow. You see how he's doing in Vegas, and not so slow of a starter, but yeah, this team still is, and I think that's kind of fine for like. I've watched all the games, but I haven't like had my eyes glued to the games and not taking notes like I had been in the past. And so, but the vibe around is that they've sucked. I think that's been my thoughts, but like to come out of that,
brutal to watch.
Yeah, they've played one good period basically. Like it's, and
that was a pretty dominant period.
It was a sick period. The one before that was maybe the worst period ever. And I was debating whether I was coming back for the third period, but yeah, I don't know. I think they'll be fine, and I think that they're still learning the Berube style. I think it's gonna blend a little bit. He has to learn too. Like, you can't make Austin Matthews dump the puck in all the time, and so there's got to be a blend there. I think they'll find it. I actually thought in that third period, John Tavares was carrying the puck over and not dumping in all the time, and so I felt like they were trying to skate a little bit more, and it was working. So yeah.
And so, Ted, what's it like to be a fan of a team that's 7-1-5? That's 5 overtime losses, which is fucking insane. 19 points in 13 games. They're absolutely killing it right now. What's going right over there right now, and who is really leading the charge?
Well, definitely like Nate and Natchez are doing some crazy things, and Natchez too. Like
Makar too.
Of course.
I have him in fantasy. I know he's amazing.
Yeah, the standard, like the core is doing what they're doing. But it's nice. We're getting like some nice like Victor Olofsson sniping a Hattie a couple nights ago. Like who? Like what? And stuff like that. Like when you can get that stuff, like we'll take that. But yeah, also Wedgwood holding it the hell down in net. For a guy that was supposed to be our backup. Blackwood was injured for the whole start of the season. He came in, got it. The first game we lost to San Jose in overtime, one of those 5 overtime losses. It's brutal. It's brutal, the overtime stuff. Like they got to figure out the 3-on-3. Macklin Celebrini was incredible that game, though. Him and Will Smith, San Jose is actually going to be good, like in a few years. Like they're going to be a good fucking team.
They actually drafted well, and they now have a future really quickly.
Good job, Mike Greer. So they're I don't know. They got a lot of good things going on though. The Avs, obviously, like 19 points, like you said. It could be so much more if we just we could easily capitalize on those wins. A lot of them we were down, scored like in the third period to tie it up, go to overtime, and then just fall apart massively. There's been there was the one I think it was the one we lost to San Jose, 3 turnovers by Nate in like the same play, and then they finally just took it down the ice and fucking scored, and it was like wow. Like it was brutal.
You don't see that very often.
I know he plays well the whole game, and then we go to overtime and they're just kind of like, I don't know, fuck it. They just give up.
So is there anybody on the team that you are looking for more out of that you think isn't good? Let me hear you gripe a little bit. I want to hear you complain about it.
Say something bad about them. I dare you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay, defensive pairings. Defensive pairings doing it's the
awful.
one thing I they're great.
He can't even say it.
But Sammy G though, injured, and we have this whatever the hell his name is, Soliev or Solviev. I don't even know how to say it yet. Picked him up from Calgary, like signing, random kid. I don't know him. And he's okay. They're all okay, but what pisses me off is that Sammy G is fucking made of glass. And as much as I like him, we had a chance to trade him a few years ago. And after that, he had a few fumbles in the playoffs that I was like, ugh. And then he got injured the one playoffs and we could have used him. And it's like, I kind of wish we had traded him all those years ago. Like, because now I don't know if we're going to be able to for much because his value is just tanking.
I mean, he used to have like some offensive value, right? And I think that's kind of the difficult thing with those not elite offensive guys. If that's kind of like your thing and that falls away, then you're just kind of like a not so great defensive player. So
So it's nice though. Malinsky has been having like I've always said that. I've always liked him since they started playing him in the lineup. I was like, this kid has something. And now people are even saying he's got flashes of Kale. And people are like, oh, he's not comparable to Kale. It's like, we're not saying he's comparable to Kale. We're saying there's certain moments, like 2 seconds where he grabs it and does a little spin move around a guy. And you're like, what the hell? Opens up a ton of space, goes and makes a nice play. You're like, okay, that was sick. Like there's not a lot of guys that can do that.
Yeah. Crazy. All right, so I think what I just want to do here is we'll start ripping off names, and I want to hear what you think of the guy so far this season. I thought early in the season Nick Roy was sick. Nick Waugh.
Nick Waugh. I think.
Nick Waugh.
Yeah, I don't know. Underwhelming to me. I don't know. I kind of just expected a bit more force. He also sucks at faceoffs. I don't know. A little underwhelming. Want to love. He's on my want to love list. So
Michelli, recent scratch. Michelli, what do you think about him?
Honestly, I've seen a lot of really good from him. He's a more extreme version of Domi. I hate the comparisons to Marner because he's not even close and in the same world as that. He doesn't carry the puck like Marner. But Domi, I don't know. He makes some really elite passes, but I don't know. He seems to have fallen out of favor with Berube getting scratched now. And
well, that's good. I didn't even have to ask about Domi. That's my next one. But yeah, Domi.
Domi. Again,
what the hell happened?
Yeah, he's not a fourth line center.
Nope.
He's not paid like one. He doesn't act like one.
No,
he's the one I'm upset about the most. You thought with Marner leaving, he would definitely find a spot locked up in the top 6 as a winger, and they just force him into center too much. I think that they haven't given him like a steady place to play as a winger. And I don't know. I think he's suffering because of kind of coaching decisions. I think you can get way more of Domi. I know he has to play better. There's no question, but I don't think he's being managed very well either. So I don't know. You can't let Domi leave. It's just for the vibes. I'm really not going to like the team if Domi's not around. It's just the vibes are too high with that guy.
I know, but I mean, like if you're trying to make Jay's comparisons to the Leafs, which my brain's always doing, it's kind of like I don't even know how to say it. The Leafs are, and I lost my train of thought.
What's that guy that I always forget his name now, where he like came up with Bo and Vladdy, and we traded him off to LA, and I forget what was his name, but basically
Biggio?
Biggio, that was it. Domi's like Biggio, where it's like you want him to love him and want him to be part of like the group and to fit in, and you know that there's some skill there, but it was just he just I don't know, it's not working, and like eventually the Blue Jays have to cast off Biggio, and maybe they have to do the same to Domi eventually,
But it feels like they just have this band of guys and they're trying to make this band of guys work. And it felt like that's what the Jays were doing. It really felt like they were going for the superstars. Like they did go for the Shoheis. I believe they had their hats in on other big free agents that they didn't land. But at the same time, they came out with this band of guys. And that's kind of why we loved this, like band of guys. It wasn't 2 or 3 superstars that we just loved. We loved the whole team. But at the end of the day, we want to see that with the Leafs. We see that they've got rid of the core 4. They've gotten all this depth and all these guys, but in the playoffs or in the big moments, it's still got to be Vladdy and the Bows and the George Springers that carry it, right?
Yeah.
You're not looking for a guy like Kevin Biggio to carry it in that moment, right? So we wouldn't be so hard on a guy like Domi if the top guys were doing their thing more, because I don't think the whole depth thing, him being a 4th line center, is bad. Brad Marchand was on the 3rd line in the playoffs. Kicks ass. I think he's on the 3rd line right now. Probably not, because like everybody's injured over there, but like he was on the 3rd line in the playoffs last year. That was sick for them, right? It's like it's good to have dope people down the lineup, right? It's not a bad thing, but you also can't just have that kind of depth and then your superstars go.
Would you rather have
Willie was hurt for a couple games, but Matthews really hasn't held up his end of the stick. The defense hasn't been anywhere near good enough. Riley's not the guy he was supposed to be this year when we all heard Morgan Riley's taking a step. Like the big guys aren't doing it.
But if I asked you, 4th line center, you want Domi or Lawton? Who you want?
Depends on who's his wings and who are we playing against.
I mean, I think it's, for me personally, it just becomes easy. It's like, well, I want Lawton. It's a 4th line centerman. I want Lawton.
Why wouldn't you want a checking line that goes more? Maybe you want a 3rd line, put him on the 3rd line.
Lawton is a better checker, and he's like a better offensive guy too at times. So, like, I don't know where.
I mean, at the end of the day, a Domi line Domi on the 4th line could be Domi on the 3rd line. It's just they're putting him with the wrong people in the wrong place. Because now, I mean, like I don't think Domi Robertson.
I like Bobby on the 3rd line with Juan Joshua. That to me, I think they should run with that a little bit. It's just, it's nothing against Domi. I love him. It's just when I start looking at a lineup, and I think Berube has done a better job lately, because I think he's expecting Lawton coming back, and that's why Domi's playing 4C, because he's just a placeholder for Lawton. And I build a lineup, and just Domi never gets into it. I think Robertson's played good enough that he deserves to be up there more than Domi does. And so, like, I can find a spot for Robertson. Like, it's just, that's the problem I have with Domi. And I think it's the same thing with the problem that Berube has.
What do you think of Nick Robertson so far this year? He's had some flashes that he's starting to mature into a pretty good player.
Man, I definitely see way more good things than bad. I still am not, like, I'm not claiming to be a believer in Robertson yet. I just can't do it. But he's doing the right things. I would have him in my lineup. There's no question. I think that playing on the 1st line is a stretch, but I think that he actually has shown that he can play on the 2nd line or the 3rd line. It's stupid to have him on the 4th line, but same reason why it's stupid to have Domi down on the 4th line. But I think that, he's been doing enough to be in the lineup. So he's become a guy, like, I don't know. He's similar to Michelli to me, where like he's not as important anymore because like it's not like a recent draft pick. He's been around. He's contributed. We kind of think we know who he is. If he comes in, he decides to provide more, then that's great. But I think if not, then like cast off. It is what it is. He's not part of the core, but man, is he been playing amazing. And he is more tenacious than everybody else on the ice when he's out there. And at the moment, that's something that we need on the team. And so, yeah, that's why he's getting. It's the same reason why Easton Cowan's getting more minutes. Tenacious. You know, that's gonna. If you can be described as that, you're gonna get minutes on this team.
Yeah, Easton Cowan, he's been scratched and he's been played on the top line. He's been kind of tried with this guy and that guy. And in preseason, we thought we had a thing with Lorentz and Lawton and Cowan. And what do you think of Cowan? Where do you think he ends up if he does end up playing all the way through the season here?
I just don't think he ends up playing all the way through the season, but I think that we've seen enough to know that he's going to be a great NHL player. He can translate a lot of his skills over to the NHL, and he makes really nice plays a lot of the time. I really like him. I think that he's he reminds me of Hyman a lot with better hands. Like he just can dig pucks out. He's fast. He gets in there hard. He's not the biggest of guys, but he's, willing to mix it up. And so, yeah, I really like him, but I think that he still needs marinating. He's not ready to just be up here and be a full-time NHLer. So even if he comes back in the end of the year, like just go down and kind of continually be successful. I think we still have some good veterans on the Marlies that can help you with that stuff. I don't know. We used to just be stocked full of veterans down there. I'm not too sure at the moment, but yeah, I think that he's been great though. And I see why he's been playing, because it's a little bit of a dig at some of the guys that have been here. It's like, this dude's shouldn't be better than you. Bobby McMahon, like you shouldn't get outworked by this guy. Even Michelli, keep work as hard as he is. Work as hard as Robertson are. Like they're good role models on the team, which is crazy to say. But there's just doesn't seem like there's enough hardworking guys. And I think I've seen a lot of it now from Joshua. He works harder than anyone out there. He hasn't been great to start the year, but he's, I can tell
he tries real hard.
He tries real hard.
Is that a good thing?
I think
he's trying real hard, not getting anything done.
I mean, I think we've seen that he has been able to score, but just he has a baseline, I think, that's good for the team and good for a bottom six. So and even if he's not playing amazing, just drop him to the fourth line. He's be an unreal fourth liner. So I think he's always on the team in my books. Wall, I think, just has some growing on me. He's very, I don't know. It's not a very heavy game. It's kind of heavy. He'll mix it up, but he's not a very skilled guy. I got to find what it really is his thing. He's definitely not a face-off guy. So yeah, I don't know, but I do think that those two can kind of find a thing, and we're always working in pairs, right? And the next guy is just kind of whoever fits in on that day. And so I think they are a pair, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Matthews, Nylander pair.
Oh, man, what's with Nylander just trying way harder with Matthews?
I don't know, but it's sick.
It is. Well, what? It's so obvious. It's just crazy. He gets on.
He's
that
probably
line.
trying to make a point to the coach. How long he's had to ride piggyback because of Marner. He should have been top line, right? Remember the H&M line?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. And he was supposed to be riding with Matthews, and then all of a sudden they changed that up because Matthews and Marner wanted to play together. And then Nylander and Tavares obviously didn't work until they forced that fucking square peg through this round hole. They did it. And
you played two guys enough together.
Playing good with them. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he gets a chance as Marner's gone to go play on the top line. Of course he wants to be on the top line. He definitely wants to play with the best player. John Tavares is great, but he also wants to have some sick fucking highlights and, fun when you're doing it. It's probably way more fun to play when the other guy is sick. Right?
I mean, I'd argue that Tavares has been way sicker this year. He's been our best player, but I do understand. Nylander was probably thinking, well,
that's just because I'm not with him.
Yeah, right. But Willie is supposed to beat Matthews. When we drafted him, it was ooh, look at our star centerman we got. And then instantly we drafted Matthews and it was we totally forgot about him. It was
Winger.
Yeah, go down to the Marlies and sit there and then be a winger, all right? And yeah, so yeah, I could see the expectation was like he was our star. It got taken away from him. Then he was going to be the winger for the star player. That gets taken away from him.
Nope.
So yeah. And it was like, you know what? You're going to be our third line centerman. Doesn't even get to try it. And he's just like, nah, you're just a winger. So I don't know, but it is obvious he tries way harder, it seems. I don't know. That's going to fade over time. And like, so maybe it is something that's just good to do in a third period when you've sucked all game. But I don't know. Well, like to me, Matthews and Nye should be the pair. So that, like, I don't know if Willie ends up being that guy that's locked in there with them, then that's fine to me. To me, the top six, I think, can produce however you mix up the guys. So like, yeah, but I don't know. Do you want it to be something that you can go to when it's late in the game and it's something different? What it doesn't like, what are you going to put? Who else are you going to put up there?
Do you think you should split up your top line?
No.
Do you think you should save it for when you're already so fucked that you need to go to it?
No.
Or should you just?
No, I'm a believer in the big three. Back in the days when we had Gabe, Rance, and Nate, and now Gabe isn't what he used to be, obviously. So he's actually now playing on the third line, and Colton and him sometimes switch between second and third line, like depending who's what. But I just saw that Wedgwood's starting this next game, and they've been off for a couple days. They're off until Saturday, so it's like, why wouldn't Blackwood be playing this? That's kind of worrisome.
Yeah, like he didn't have the greatest numbers in his first game back, right? I don't know if they're just trying to really ease him in, maybe, but
yeah, maybe a real slow start, but that's real slow. I mean, they could have easily played him tonight, but I don't know.
Yeah,
that's weird. Yeah. Our Wedgie's just stealing the job. I don't know.
Or
I need to swap them on my fantasy team.
That's hilarious. But yeah, I think you keep the top line. I think you put your best players on the top line. I think that's what you're supposed to do. And I think now that Nylander's like, well, who the fuck's better on right wing than me? Nobody. No one. So he wants to play on the top line with the best players, right? He wants to play with Nyes. He wants to play with Matthews. He wants to play with the best players. I mean, John Tavares is sick too, but also there's something to being the top line right winger on the team. And there's also something to playing with, generational goal scorer in Austin Matthews. Like those guys together could probably have a lot of fun playing hockey. And I don't put it past him. That's why he tries a lot harder. All right, I got one more before we get out of here. We only got a couple more minutes. We got about 7 minutes to go with this if we can. Stolarz. When I saw Stolarz last year, I thought Stolarz was unbeatable. Best goalie in the league. The dopest dope I've ever smoked. But this year, he's got an 896 and he's got a 3.12 goals against average. And he stops and he looks over his shoulder. Oh, shit, a lot. And I don't like that. And it's my eye test. I had to check up the stats just to be sure. He definitely has made a lot of good saves, and the Leafs have been shit in front of him. But is it like, does Stolarz look different? First question. And that's a yes or no question. And is it because of Stolarz or is it because the team is garbage?
He doesn't look different. And to me, he still makes huge saves. Like, that's the biggest thing with Stolarz is like he makes massive saves that you would never ask your goalie to make, but he somehow does it. But he has had a lot more kind of easier ones go in, I would say. So it doesn't
even
look
the ones
different.
that haven't went in. It's his play. It's the way that he's sliding across the net. It's the way that he's stopping. It's the way that he's tracking the puck and looking over his shoulder. I feel like I don't know. He's also like really angry this year. Do you remember him being that angry last year? Like he's slashing people, pushing guys like every single time they go down to their end.
I think I've heard him speak it more to the media, but I think that's because he's got a contract now and he's here for a bit. But I think he's always played that way. I noticed it. Like he's hot, man. He plays hot, runs hot.
Ever.
Yeah, I think that was part of like his like scouting report when we signed him. It was just like he's a feisty guy, and he's willing to go. But I think I don't know. I don't see the same things that you have. To me, it's the numbers just are different. and some softer ones are in. Like, I'm not noticing him as much, like being less confident in there. I just think that, yeah, he's kind of had some off games. The team in front of him always expects a lot from him and always will. Like, honestly, like, there's always going to be a lot of chances against this Leafs team, regardless of what style they play or who's playing defense. Like, I don't know. I think that's always going to be a calling card, is you got to make the big saves. And I think he's doing that. And that's why I feel still confident in him. On a 2-on-1, I'll take him any day. You know, it just feels very like he's so athletic. He's so big. But yeah, I don't know. I do want more from him, though. I think he can be better. He has been better. And possibly it's just like his best buddy and Joseph Wall's not around right now, or he just got to the team, hasn't been playing. And I think maybe like some guys are just made, like, born to be a tandem goalie. You know, it's a lot to ask a guy to just be the guy. And when you're a tandem,
I've needed that because I had $50 on the line that he's going to start more games this season. So I've needed him to play all these games. I'm a little further ahead.
No, I think it was the better. It's not just he starts more; it's that he's better.
No, it's he starts more games.
No, he was including starting more games.
That was the bet.
No.
That was the bet.
Oh, I'm not betting. No, that's
that was the bet. You took it.
No, I bet that he was going to be, that Wall would be the better goalie.
All
this
right,
year.
we'll move the goalpost. That's fine. On the goalie bet, that only makes sense to move the goalpost.
I don't know. We're betting different things. That's for sure. I'm not betting goalie starts like when we knew that Wall wasn't going to be around.
No, this was before the whole thing was announced. It was like 2 days later, and I was like, that was a pretty good bet.
No, I don't know. Maybe
we were just talking. We were just.
I don't care. Well, I'll give you $50 if you want. It's not what I thought the bet was, but whatever.
Yeah.
I could still have a chance, even if that is the. I think we combine the goalie starts, but like, because when is Andy Stolarz, has he ever played a full season? So it's that's part of having this tandem thing, is we have two guys we're confident in. It's like I feel more confident in the goalies of our team than I have in forever. And so I still feel good about them. I still feel good about Wall and Stolarz as a pair. So yeah, if Stolarz is struggling right now, like, we got someone who can pick him up. He's just not ready yet. I'm not. Have you even heard when Wall's going to play? Because we know he's back. He's just
how long does it take? Been optioned to the Marlies yet, right? So then you'll know he's getting close when he's optioned to the Marlies for conditioning loan.
Yeah, but he's been around for what, a week? Maybe
2. Yeah.
2?
Well,
so like, I don't know how long does it take you to go and start playing for the Marlies? I'm not sure. So
yeah, well, maybe he just needs to get reacclimated. Who knows? Nobody knows what the hell went on. No. But he is a really good goaltender, and it is really early, and we do have a pretty dope goaltender that's holding it down right now. So like, get him right. I'd rather have him 100% than 95% in November.
Yeah, right? I agree. Yeah.
So I think that's a pretty simple conversation on that. I think that's where we'll wrap it for now. The Avs are playing like right as we're recording tonight, right? They're playing about an hour here. And then so this will already be over, so we won't talk about that. The Leafs, they play again, and they play the Mammoth, as if that's a team, right? They're called the Mammoth now. They used to just be the HC, the old HC.
Yeah. There's still the HC to be. They'll never die.
Yeah, the hockey.
The old HC. Yeah. Logan Cooley signed a big deal there. And he's been sick, potting goals like crazy. Utah's been kind of legit. Where are they in the NHL standings right now? Let's see.
They're up there.
Logan Cooley,
third. They got 16 points. The Leafs have 15 points.
Yeah.
So this should be fun. They're 8-4-0, and the Leafs are 7-5-1. So I mean, like, we probably think they're shit if they were our favorite team too, because we're really pissed off. But 7-5-1 isn't even bad too, which is like crazy.
Man, expectation is everything.
Yeah. Expectation. It's way higher.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that happens Wednesday night. So I guess that'll be tonight for anybody listening, day one of the podcast drop. And we'll get the fuck out of here until next time. Right? Anything else, boys? Wrap us up, or
I think that's a wrap. Yeah. We'll see you whenever we see you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we should be back now that the Jays aren't fucking playing all the time. We don't have 2 sets of leagues to follow and shit going every day. Think about baseball too, right? It goes every day.
Yeah.
So like you don't really get a chance to.
One thing I'll say is following all the way to the end of the World Series, it just happens so quick versus the NHL playoffs go on for friggin' ever. Like
it did feel quick, didn't it?
When you think about that in baseball,
they do like 3 days in a row, and
yeah,
they shoot it, and they one
mathematically, that's why it's quicker. But it's just when you think about how hard hockey is to play, and we're playing 7-game series in hockey, and we got to wait like a day at least or 2 in between games. And it's just like, I don't know, even baseball, they do 5 game series in some spots, it's like,
so, in the first series in the DS, it's a 5-game series.
So to think that hockey, they don't even put any of that into it is kind of crazy. I've never been in favor of making the series shorter. Like, I love hockey, I love watching it, but it's just like, when you just think about what your body goes through, like, no wonder there's so much put into just like staying healthy through the playoffs in the NHL. It's because like it just, how does that not take so much out of you? Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. All right,
I'm done.
Do we stop recording? It's over. Bye.
Yeah, you want to do an out? Yeah.
Peace. Later, everyone.
All right, peace.
Peace.